Hello everyone and welcome back to OverPlay, the only video game overview show shot in the form of a Let's Play, and while there's probably a good reason for that, we don't have time to discuss it because we have to talk about Extinction. A brand new game that came out recently for $60 whole. That is basically Horde mode. And I wish I had a better joke about that, but unfortunately I don't. And honestly, that's all this game is it's just fight wave after wave to build up your energy, and then you can slay the giant. That's it. Your objectives are sometimes randomized, and that adds a little variety to it, but apart from that, there is nothing else to that. But who knows? Maybe I'm just being way too judgmental about it. Maybe it's just me. But since we're in my review and my channel, we're going to say yes, that is exactly what it is. Now, in this game, you play as that guy. The big honcho, or you know what, he's just your standard last of the great hero protagonists who's there to help save the world from the big bad guys that are knocking down the city. And that's where this game really falls apart, honestly. While it is colorful and interesting to look at, it falls apart in the character development and the way the game is presented. As stated before, there's not too much to this whole game. You go here, you swing your sword, you fight the bad guys, you kill the bad guys, build up enough energy, and as said, cut the giant's armor off. Which could be a nice little diversion for about 50 minutes, maybe 50 minutes. I'll be generous. Unfortunately, this game wants to pretend that it's in the big boy realm of things and go on for a full $60 price tag hour, which, I'm sorry, in the worlds of God of Wars and Halos and Calls of Duties, you're just not going to get that kind of replay value out of something this simple. Not that a simple game is bad, but it's just too simple for what it needs to be. Now, not everything bad about this game is bad. Honestly, I like the art style a lot. It's slightly cartoonish, but very stylized, and it could look very interesting if done right. Well, put into a better setting, let's say that. I don't want to use the term done right, because that implies that somebody did something wrong when developing these character models, which I honestly don't think so. They look good. Get kind of a Prince of Persia vibe out of them. That being said, I do wish the main character was at least customizable for something like this. Because he's every generic white protagonist ever, and it just looks boring. Anybody up here? Alright, rescue you. That being said, the monsters, once you've seen one, you've seen them all at that point. Because they all look like this. Yeah, build your rune energy. Shut up. And that can be a bit of a distraction for some people. Now, as far as gameplay goes, it's okay. Much like the rest of this game, it just kind of meets the middle requirement for everything, and it just kind of stays there. The hack and slash is decent, if a little finicky sometimes. Movement can be fluid, but sometimes really falls apart. I'm really reminded of the Sonic Adventure games back from way back when. God, I feel weird saying that about way back when. And it just kind of comes off... I hesitate to use the term half-hearted, but I've got nothing better for it. It feels like they just looked at it and said, what's the least I can do for what I have to? And then they did that and nothing else. Rather than being ambitious and huge like Shadow of the Colossus, and just kind of feels like I'm floating around trying to land on something bigger. Because that's mostly what you're doing. And it really comes off, it really shows about how it looks. Yeah, regain my health. Now, while you can upgrade your character, he really doesn't matter. And I don't mean that in a weird sort of, oh, he's completely and totally inconsequential to the overall story of it all. I mean, outside of the little guys you fight, your upgrades don't matter. No matter what you do, you're still going to require the same number of hits to take off the guy's locks. You're still going to require the same number of things to do in order to reach the top of his head, and you're still going to get taken out in 1 or 2 hits. Nothing you do actually impacts the main part of this game, which is taking down these bosses. It really doesn't help that the camera angle is not your friend in any way whatsoever. But that's neither here nor there. Ah, for pity's sake.
Please be more careful, Abil.
There's also no real penalty to dying in this. As you can see, I've died 2 or 3 times. I've not lost any of my currency. I've not lost any of my charge. I just respawn a few feet away from him and go back to doing this. And so I don't feel a need to try and improve. All I gotta do is just wait until the game decides to get the giant in the right position so I can cut the lock, and wham! Game over. Now, with all that I've said, you would expect me to say that this game is completely and totally worthless, and I wouldn't exactly say you were wrong if you thought that. There's a lot about this game that really doesn't feel good. The fact that you get swatted in 1 hit no matter what you do really doesn't help it. The way your character just kind of slides around when you move can be frustrating, but at some points it's very welcome when trying to get in and out of trouble. When fighting small mobs, it's really great. The camera not working with you, on the other hand, really doesn't help you when you're put into tight situations like this, or when a monster can make large area attacks like that. All in all, Extinction is a game. And honestly, if this game were about $20 less, I probably wouldn't even say a damn thing about this game, because for $40, I could do way worse. Hell, I probably have done way worse for $40. But instead, they're trying to charge full market price. And in a market where God of War and Halo and Call of Duty pretty much reign supreme, this just does not cut it. But, as always, these are just my opinions, and opinions are subject. So, what did you guys think? Am I wrong, or is this a perfect game and I just don't understand its brilliance and majesty? Am I just some kind of horrible windbag sitting out here dunking on some hard-working game developer and his brilliance? I've said brilliance too many times. Either way, leave a comment down below and tell me what you guys think. In the meantime, be sure to like and subscribe. I am going to try and cut this giant's helmet off. Well, I got his armor, so that's not bad. Come on, camera. I didn't mean to do that, but I'll take it. Can I? Come on. Either way, we'll see you back here next time, everybody. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a giant to try and kill.